The greatest arsenal you can have in a democracy is for you to have the people with you. After all, democracy is government by the people, for the people, and by the people. And therefore, once you have the people with you, 60% challenges are solved. So for me, we have the people with us. Nigerians have embraced the party, and it is the people that are driving the process. I believe that whatever challenges that you may think, the people is the one that you need to have. The other two entrenched parties, like you said, is because they had the people with them at that time. And that's why they are entrenched. Today, I believe that after 2023, Labour Party will become the party that will be entrenched. Because all that you need most in a democracy is for you to have the people with you. I appreciate the fact that you have other variables, the issue of security, and so on and so forth. But the greatest asset you can have in any democracy is for you to have the people with you. And today we have the people with us.
Okay, now that you have the people, what do you intend to do differently that will make the people remain with you?
Obviously, we have a lot to put on the table. First, we believe that the greatest challenge we have right now is the issue of insecurity in the country. Apparently, you can't talk about the economy. You can't even talk about politics correctly. You can't talk about power. You can't do anything in a country that is insecure. And so for us in Labour Party, security is key. What we are putting on the table for Nigerians to look at first and foremost is that we are going to ensure that we secure the country. Obviously, the drafters of the 1999 Constitution also have this in mind, and that's why Section 14 stated clearly that the principal objective of any government or the principal purpose of government is to secure lives and properties. And therefore, for us in Labour Party, we believe that without security, there's nothing else you can do. And therefore, for us, our priority is to ensure that the country is secured. Secondly, you agree with me that the country is heavily divided as we speak, apparently because of failed leadership over the years who have used ethnicity, who have used religion to create a divide within us. And therefore, the second priority for us is to ensure that we have unity. Because it is when you have people united, people who feel that the country is their country, that's when you can get the best out of the people in order to deploy them to attain socio-economic development. And so we believe that we are going to embark on uniting the people. As you already seen, that Labour Party has become a symbol of unity. We are going to entrench that more by the time we win the 2023 general election. We are going to provide a level playing field. In terms of appointment, we are going to follow the federal character as stated in the Constitution, that principal offices shall be divided within the ethnic nationality of Nigeria, and then we are going to do things fairly. Having done this, then we move to the next stage of fixing the economy, because we believe that as we speak today, the people are poor, they are hungry, there is unemployment heavily in the land, and therefore our principal focus will be to remove people from poverty. And you can achieve this by rebranding and redoing the economy, so to speak. And that's why our principal slogan, which is one of the principal program of our principal, Peter Abure, our presidential candidate, is to the effect that he is going to move the country from being a consumption country to a production country. One of the reasons why we have no balance of trade, that inflation is high, the power of the naira is low, is because we are not exporting. We engage mainly on imports on what we do. And therefore, it is our belief that if we are to rebrand our economy, you have to engage in productive activity. And we are going to use agriculture to drive that development because we have the mass land and we have the human resource. So all we then need to do is to be able to harness these vast natural resources with our human resources and drive the process of growth and development for the economy. And we believe that if we're able to fix the economy, lift people out of poverty, lift people out of hunger, create jobs, then the youths that are currently wasting their energies, their productive energies on the street, will be positively engaged. And once this is done, you'll also be dealing with the issue of insecurity, you'll be dealing with the issue of economy, even with the issue of politics. Our youth today are ready, how do I put it now? Ready.
They are strong.
Yes, they are readily available for crime and criminality. Apparently, because there are no jobs, they are not positively engaged. And I read somewhere where somebody said, if you are poor, if you have no job, you won't be able to defend even your human rights. And therefore, without, by the time you encourage people, leave them out of poverty, leave them out of hunger, they begin to think well. They begin to rationalize issues. And then we will also be getting the politics right. Beyond the issue of economy recovery that we are going to vigorously pursue through our program of moving the country from being a consumption country to a productive country, is intertwined with the issue of education, because you can't discuss productive activity without looking at the education sector, because education will provide the resource that you need to sustain your productive ventures. It means that we have to invest heavily on the education sector. You have to invest on human capital development. And then, because labor is involved in productive activity, even machines broke down if you are using machines. Human beings that will work in these factories, that will work in these farms, that will be massively created, will also break down. And therefore, you need healthcare. We need to rejig our healthcare sector in order to reposition it, to be able to meet up with the challenges of providing healthcare for our people. Today, in our country, people still die of common malaria. People still die of pregnancy. In some areas, pregnancy is death sentence for some people. And therefore, we believe that the issue of healthcare is key in our own program. Okay. And then it follows with the issue of infrastructure, because if you are going to be involved in economic recovery through repositioning the economy, of course, you have to talk about development of infrastructure like roads, housing, and all other infrastructures. Because both PDP and APC see Labour Party as a threat as we speak, and therefore we have become their soft targets. We have become the object of attack. In Lagos, they are attacking some of our people. They are going to identify some people in their houses, and they are meeting them in their houses, harassing them. In some cases, they kidnap some, take them away, bring them back after threatening them that they will not vote for the party. This is what we'll be going through. In some cases, they have refused allowing us to have access to what's it called now? Billboards. In some states, for example, we paid upfront for billboards. As of today, the contractors are begging us to come and take our money. That government have instructed that they should not give us those billboards. It is very disheartening. Today, I have got over 3-4 invitations from the police to come to you, even myself and the National Secretary, over matters that are in court. And I find this even ridiculous, you know. And they saw all over the place. Police are harassing our members, inviting them for questioning over frivolous issues. And this is the situation we find ourselves in Ebonyi. When our members wanted to carry out peaceful rallies, they were tear gassed. They used police machinery to disperse them. But the people were resolved and they still went ahead with their rallies. And so we have it all over the country like this. But my belief is that no amount of guns, no amount of harassment, no amount of intimidation can stop an idea whose time has come. I believe that the people are resolved that there must be a change this time around. And therefore, no matter the harassment, I believe that the people will ultimately have their way. For us in Labour Party, at all levels, we are ready to provide leadership. We are ready to continue to lead. So long as the people is following us, we are ready to provide leadership to our people, because this is what the society, this is the responsibility the society has. You know, at every point in the history of a nation, when it's time for change, society has a way of training up new leaders, of creating a new order. I believe that this is the new order for Nigeria. And I want to appeal to our opponents, other political parties, that if you have been in power for 20 years and you've not been able to make the difference, it is advisable that you allow others, in the interest of the country, for the country to move from one stage to another. It is better at this point not to suffocate the wishes of the people. So my advice is that we appeal to our colleagues that we should allow the people to have their way. Let the process be free. Let the process be fair. Let there be level playing field for everyone, so that we all come out strong as a country. We should be able to rise beyond partisan interest and put the interest of the country first. Today, the country is not doing well. Everybody sees it. I mean, you can't travel from here, from Abuja to Lokoja. You can't travel from here to Kaduna. And you are in power. You can't do anything. You are not responding. ASU just, out of frustration, ASU had to call off their strike after 7 months at home. Between me and you, because it's not just about the candidate alone. It's also about the party. And this is where political parties have been getting it wrong. You don't elect a candidate and just leave, or the candidate just bring his manifesto. No. So what we did was to bring people from the party. We got people from the NLC, got people from the TUC. Of course, you know, they are major stakeholders in this business. And we also brought people from the civil society. We brought people from the campaign organization that have fine-tuned the manifesto. Because if you are going to this, what is happening in Nigeria today has become a movement. It's even beyond Peter Obi and even the Labour Party per se. And therefore, we needed the buy-in of all segments of the society in order to have what will be sellable and acceptable to the people. Because part of the problem we have had over the years is that we fail as government to carry out need assessment of the people. In your community, you may need road. In my own, I may need water. But I may erroneously assume that since you need road, I may also be needing roads. So what we have done is to bring people together to give us a comprehensive document that every segment of the society will be very proud of.
So the document is to be launched?
Yes, it's ready, and any moment from now, it will be unveiled. But I need to quickly make this. For 2023 general election, it should not be about the paperwork, because I'm aware that there are some presidential candidates who are not even aware of what is written in their own manifesto. We have seen manifestos in 2015, even in 2011. We saw manifestos. We have seen 5-point agenda. We have seen 7-point agenda. We have seen all these things. But at the end of the day, it doesn't work. People don't implement what they put in their manifesto. And therefore, for me, for 2023, what we should really look at, what Nigerians should look at, is the character, the pedigree, the competence, the capacity, the health condition, and the age of the candidates that are running, because they are key to moving forward. If you can write beautiful stories, but we need to know what you did with the position you took before. Okay. If you were vice president, what did you do with it? Pedigree. Yes. If you were governor before, what did you do with it? What are your pedigree? Are you part of those receiving pension today, even when you are serving in the Senate? You still receive pension from your state? When you were living, what are the records? What did you leave behind?
These are things that Nigerians
so there are what Nigerians should look at for. It's not the manifesto. Manifesto is key. We have our own. But Nigerians should not look at that this time. Because we have seen manifestos. Since 1999, we have been seeing manifestos. We've been seeing people coming out to say, this is my pact with Nigerians. And they have not lived up to expectation with it.